So as a digital marketer working on client campaigns, I've had to come up with some pre-launch marketing strategies to bring products into the market. And really what you do with these marketing strategies can really make the difference between success and failure. And that's the truth. Hey guys, this is Dawn Marie and I am here on YouTube documenting my journey of starting a digital product business from scratch. So I'm showing you behind the scenes of what it takes to build a brand new digital product business without relying on marketplaces like Creative Market or Etsy. I'm showing you raw and transparent content of how I get things done, the strategies that I'm using, the ideas I'm coming up with, my thoughts, the overall process of what that looks like to build an audience from scratch. So if that's something that is of interest to you, then I would just love if you subscribe to the channel. And if you are joining me again, then welcome back. Now, before I get started, I would love to share with you my 10-day action plan, which I have noticed quite a lot of you are downloading it. So thank you so much. It's a free 10-day action plan for launching your own digital product. This action plan will take you through what you need to do in the next 10 days to put together your own offer, launch, sell, and fulfill it. No guesswork needed. So I'm telling you what you need to do, when to do it, and how, so maybe you can launch your own digital product. Make sure to check the description box below for the link. Now let's talk about pre-launch strategies for launching a digital product. Now, some of the things you have to think about when you are launching your digital product is really knowing who your audience is, whether your product is a good fit and do they actually want it. You also need to know where your audience is so that you can put your offer in front of them. So where are they hanging out online? You also need to know what's really going on in their mind, from their challenges and problems to the objections that they may have to buying something. These are all important to having a successful digital product launch. Now, I got an email from one of my subscribers who asked, how can you create a pre-sell or pre-launch strategy, as well as what is the right funnel to launch successfully? But one thing that I do want to share when it comes to marketing strategies is that there are more effective ways of doing something and less effective ways of doing something. So there is no right or wrong way to launch a digital product. And you need to keep in mind that just because a strategy has worked for one person or one business owner, it doesn't mean that it will work for you. Now, of course, people can share their strategies with you to give you inspiration and ideas for things that you can do in your own business. And then ultimately, it is for you to take those things away, to take those key thoughts away and apply it to your own business and test it with your own audience. Now, in this video, I thought it would be very interesting to share with you how the pre-launch strategy that I used to launch my very first digital product and go on to make just about $2,000 in 2 weeks, which, by the way, was a mere experiment. So I'll be sharing with you the things that I did that worked and didn't work, and what I took away as well, so the lessons that I learned. Now, by the time I launched this digital product, I had already been doing digital marketing for just about 2 years, so I already had some experience up my sleeve. I also had my own blog, so I was a blogger, and I was able to accumulate about 10,000 visitors per month, with some of those visitors being repeat visitors. Now, there are many ways that you can launch a digital product. You can launch through social media. You can use your own website. But I think the key point is to really know where your target audience is so that you can show up there during that pre-launch. In my case, I used my website, Pinterest, and email. And before I actually launched, I had to actually come up with a product. So I had to spend some time doing the research to really understand what is the best digital product for my audience. And I think that that's one of the problems with launches, that not many people spend time in that research phase, really understanding the important criteria that they should be looking out for to find out whether or not they have a good digital product idea. Now, you don't come up with a digital product idea based on what someone else is doing. you actually come up with a digital product idea based on what your audience wants. Now, when I speak about an audience, I'm referring to those audiences that you actually own. So not where you are borrowing, for example, like with marketplaces like Etsy or Creative Market, but for example, owned audiences might be through your website where you have acquired those people, that traffic over time. So the methods that I use here is really based on an audience that I owned and acquired over time. If you are struggling for the type of digital product to create, maybe you don't yet have enough data to think about a plan that you can share to create that digital product, then you could always refer to your competitors and get ideas from the things that they are creating, provided those competitors have a similar audience persona as yours. And then it's important to, as well, after you've done that research, to use the information to either survey your own audience or whatever data you might have to compare it with that, to make sure that when you launch your digital product, that it is more likely to sell. Now, the way that I came up with my digital product idea was that I looked at the data that I already had. So I looked at my website and I looked at the most read article to understand what was of most interest to my readers. What were they looking for the most? And then using that information to think about some of the problems and challenges that they might have. Now, if you are using some other channel to acquire traffic, that might be, for example, social media. One way that you could figure out what your audience wants is by looking at your analytics and analyzing, for example, what might be the post that created the most engagement or the post that was clicked on the most, for example. Now, once I had the idea for my digital product and I was confident that it might sell, I decided to test the desire for it with my audience and started developing a pre-launch plan to really satisfy that need. And very simply, I just created a wait list, which I did about a month before I actually launched. Now, the wait list was simply a landing page which had more about who I was and what I wanted to share with my audience, and then also a call to action to subscribe to it if they wanted to be alerted or notified when I would launch. Now, how did I actually get people to know about that waitlist? How did I get them to know that it existed? Well, I just put a notification bar at the top of my website and I put a headline on the notification bar and directed people to click on the button. So when they clicked on the button, they went directly to my landing page. And the good thing to know is that from that waitlist, I was able to generate about 238 subscribers who actually wanted to know more. I was pleasantly surprised to get so much because I didn't expect so many subscribers, but that then gave me the certainty that, okay, there are people who actually wants to know a little bit more about this topic, and it then encouraged me to go on to spend my time and invest my time in creating that product. Now, I didn't do a lot of pre-launch activities because, as I previously mentioned, this was just an experiment to see whether I could create a digital product and sell it. You could say it is like a minimum viable product launch where I did just enough to find out whether the product was sellable. And then once that proved successful, I could then take that out to a wider market. Now, in addition to the notification bar to attract subscribers from my website, I also created a few pins on Pinterest because Pinterest was my #1 source of traffic at that time. And I also shared those pins in group boards or bigger group boards to get more visibility. And the pin that I created actually connected with my landing page. So it didn't go to my blog post. And some people may think that you're only able to connect a pin to a website or a blog post, for example, but I just simply connected it directly to my landing page. So let's talk about the pre-launch content and how to actually nurture your subscribers or your audience for the sale. And this is super, super important because this is how you're able to build an emotional connection with your new subscribers who may not have known about you. And you really have a short window to share everything that you know about the problem that you are solving, and also to convince them that you are the right person to solve that problem. Now, I was able to design email copy that really spoke to the needs of my subscribers. I also made sure that the copy was relatable to them so that they could see themselves in me, and to really show that I get them. I really understood their challenges and problems. So my emails were really focused on the emotional part of building that connection, as well as handling any objections that they may have. So that would include answering any questions that they might have about myself and the digital product. Now, my digital product was about affiliate marketing, how to do affiliate marketing without a huge website or blog. And one of the misconceptions that people had is that you needed to be a blogger to make money with affiliate marketing. And I wanted to crush that misconception and say, well, not really, because this is how I was able to do it. And if I am able to do it, then you are able to do it too. And this is how you want to pre-sell your products, or any other product for that matter. You really want to make things that are about your subscribers. So you want to make it about them rather than focusing on you, because they're going to see through that if everything that you say is just about you and not about them. And this is what I share in my product launch email template. So I pretty much took what the emails that I created to launch my own digital product and packaged it into a product launch email template kit that you could use as well if you are interested in launching your own digital products by email. I'll make sure to put a link in the description box if you are interested in checking it out. Now, one big thing that I think really worked in my favor, which I had not seen many of my competitors doing, and which is really optional, but I would highly recommend it, is using videos in my email. I mean, I wanted people to really see what I looked like. I wanted them to look into my eyes. It's almost like having a conversation with somebody, and there's just something about video that connects someone better, to let them know that there is a real person on the other end of that email. In my opinion, I think using video in your email, it makes you connect better. It humanizes your emails. It lets them know who's actually behind the business, who they're actually transacting with, who they're giving their money to. So that's why, I always try to use these emails, or direct the person to an email on my YouTube channel where they can check me out. Let's talk about the tactics that I use in my email marketing, because it's all good that you can generate those subscribers, those leads, but how do you actually turn them into customers? So I'm going to share more about that with you. So I had a 10-day email sequence, which I think is just about enough. So you don't want to have a long drawn out email sequence. And I think it's just about enough to launch a digital product. And in those 10 days, I also included a pre-launch or pre-sale schedule. So there were 5 emails in that pre-launch schedule that included an FAQ email, my story, and more about my brand. I also included open cart email, a reminder email, and last chance email. I also use countdowns in my emails, and I told my subscribers that I was going to increase the price of the product so that it would create a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, because some people, they think that it's a great deal to get the digital product at, and they wouldn't want to miss that price. So it really helps to inject some cash into your business when you say that you are going to increase your price, so that people buy now rather than waiting later on where they could potentially get it at a higher price. And even if I did increase the price, I still got sales at the increased price point. So that is it. That is the strategies and tactics that I use to launch my very first digital product and go on to make just about $2,000 in 2 weeks. It took me about a month to create the digital product, which I sold as an ebook and designed using Canva. I also designed my landing pages using lead pages and fulfilled with Aweber. In a previous video, I shared with you how I use lead pages to build my landing pages, so make sure to check the description box below where I'll leave a link to it. And I also wrote a case study, an in-depth case study. If you are someone who prefers to read, then I'll make sure to leave a link to that case study as well, where it takes you through step by step all the things that I did. So make sure to check that out. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you were able to take away a few tips and ideas for your own launch of your digital product. Let me know in the comments if you are going to try any of the things that I used. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye now.